Hey, I'm Maria. Welcome to my channel, My Cancer Journey, where I vlog about my ovarian cancer diagnosis, treatment, my thoughts, and really everything in between. This week has been a hard week. I'm still struggling with the conversation that I had with my oncologist, finding out that the first round of chemo was not effective, but I'm trying to keep positive. I was also trying to recover from that week after chemo, which tends to be really difficult for me. So now I'm coming out on the other side of chemo and I'm feeling generally better physically in the grand scheme of things. I have had a lot of pain, so my pain medications have had to be adjusted, and basically if I don't take it on the schedule that's provided, including waking up in the middle of the night to take it, I wake up with extreme amount of pain. I know just the other day I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. 10 out of 10, I was in pain. My husband was ready to bring me to the hospital, but I wanted to try the painkillers first because I hate going to the emergency room. You go there, there's a bunch of tests, you wait around for hours, not necessarily in the waiting room because they tend to take you really quickly when you're at a 10 out of 10 for pain, but who the heck wants to stay around there for a while? The majority of my longer hair was coming out, so I had like bald patches around and this is Harley, my dog. And hi. I had bald patches around my head, so I'll put in a clip of my husband's and my adventures regarding my hair. So it's little on the short side now, where bald patches and short hair, but I've got to say that I like this look so much better than when I would take off my hat before and there's just like these patches of hair around my scalp, because I looked really sick and I don't want to see myself as really sick. Yes, I may have a bad diagnosis and I may be fighting this thing, but you know, you want to look good or as good as you can look and feel comfortable in your own skin. I mean, geez, it's definitely coming out in patches. So, and clumps. Time to shave it down a little. Or what, crew cut? Well, yep, it's gone off. Well, it's coming off anyway. Oh, honey, we'll have matching haircuts. Yours will be a little shorter, only for now. Then you can shave in solidarity with me. I'm hoping that I can keep my eyelashes and eyebrows. Yeah, I sort of like this much better than, you know, the splatchy bald patches. And like all the clumps of hair still coming out. Yeah. Bald is beautiful. No, crew cut, right?
Yes, you have hair there.
All right. Woohoo!
And that's Harley.
Oh yes, everyone loves Charlie. I know some of you have asked some questions in the comments, so I figured I'd respond in this video to let you know that I do have a support system. There were a few of you asking who I had to support me. I have a great support system. I have a husband. We have 5 children between the two of us. I brought 3 into the marriage. He brought 2 into the marriage, but all 5 of them are on their own, independent, but they're relatively close by and they try to help as they can. I also have my parents living nearby, although they are a little older. Hey, Mom and Dad. And I have a lot of friends. My friends have been wonderful. One of my friends, when she knew that I would need a lot of rides because of appointments after appointments after appointments, she put together a list of people who were willing to pitch in and help with the ride situation. And sometimes I don't know that I have an appointment until the day before. That tends to happen most often when my belly needs to be drained because of the ascites, which will happen on Friday. And that always makes me feel better because it's just really hard to breathe as the fluid builds up. But I digress. So it's been really helpful because when I've had an appointment that my children or my husband have not been able to bring me to, I just let my friend know, hey, I need a ride on this day. I expect I'll need to leave my house at this time. The appointment will take about, typically it's an hour, and then I'll need a ride back. And sometimes someone can stay with me during that appointment, sometimes in the waiting room, or like for some people it works where one person can bring me and another person can pick me up from the hospital or wherever I am and bring me home. And that has been a lifesaver, and it also gives me the opportunity to see my friends. I'm not driving because I am on heavy duty painkillers. My physical symptoms and the pain level that I often experience, I don't think it's safe for me to drive. So I am fully reliant on my family and friends and support network. Another friend put together a meal drive for me. And so we received meals from lots of friends, family. My dad was keeping us supplied with quiches and frittatas and like little egg cups. One of the things that they really want you to have a lot of is protein and calories, and that was really good when on the days that I really, really struggled to eat because they were just small pieces, but I knew that in each serving, I would at least have an egg, which gave me a decent amount of protein, and it wasn't too upsetting to my stomach once those anti-nausea medications kicked in. So that's always good. I also had a lot of questions and comments from you guys about nutrition and supplements. And one of the things that Dana-Farber does that I absolutely love is that they basically envelop their patients with not only a team of medical professionals like, oncologists that specialize in your cancer, nurses that specialize in your cancer, and specially trained oncology individuals and professionals, but they expand the approach as well to integrative therapies and other things that support the patient. So one of the things probably within the first week or two that I received when I became a patient at Dana-Farber is a consultation with a nutritionist. I also am trying to set up a consult with a exercise person. I'm blanking on the name. I know that there's a special name for those people, but they can see what my treatment plan is and my symptoms are and devise some exercise plan that could help reduce those symptoms, or also just work to, get my energy up and try to put me in as good physical condition as possible. They have this wide library of meditation videos, chair yoga, aerobics. I can't do that because of my breathing issues and also my stamina issues, but there's just so much. So they take care of the nutrition part. There's also ZACM integrative therapies, and they provide massages, art therapy, music therapy, what else? Acupuncture, all sorts of things. There's a palliative care team as well. I actually have an appointment set up with them because my symptoms are sometimes really difficult for me to manage, and anything that can increase my quality of life, hey, I'm all for it. So let's get going. But I think anyone who gets a cancer diagnosis also could use some support. So I have support groups, and also Dana-Farber has social workers who are specially trained in working with individuals who have cancer. My social worker actually works specifically in the gynecological oncology department. So not only does she have experience working with patients that have cancer, but like my kind of cancer. So she's hearing many of the same but different experiences. And these things that I'm mentioning aren't exhaustive. I know that there are a lot of other opportunities and things that they offer that I just haven't delved into yet, or haven't frankly been interested in. But everyone's journey is different, and I know I've heard from some people saying, geez, thank you for sharing your story. I just wanted to keep it all to myself, and I didn't want to talk about it to anyone. And for me, this is sort of like my therapy in a way, my interactions with you. I'm not really a journaler. I'm more of a, hey, let me put it on camera, put it out there. And I love to interact with all of you when you comment on the videos, ask me questions, and we just keep updated with one another's lives as well, because I know a few of you are battling this monster as well. And I love hearing about your successes because I'm going to celebrate with you. It's just one of those things. One of the other things that I have been struggling with this last week is my career. I am a partner in a mid-size law firm, and I practice domestic and probate litigation. Well, what in the heck is that, Maria? Well, anything to do with the family, and for family law, whether it's a divorce, custody, child support, modifications, enforcing judgments, like let's say a parent is refusing the other parent their court-ordered parenting time, then you bring actions to enforce the judgment. As far as the probate litigation relates to lawsuits regarding wills, trusts, estates, guardianships, conservatorships, which is where an individual is appointed to manage the money of an individual who needs protection. At least that's the case in Massachusetts. Each state has some sort of variation as far as their terms. I've been unable to work for about 2.5 months. And with my recent conversation with my doctor, she indicated that she would anticipate at least another 6 months of treatment, and she did not anticipate that I would be able to work during that time going forward. And so I've had to really think of where it put me. Well, what in the heck happens? You know, I had a very, very busy practice. I had clients that I loved servicing in my job. My clients typically come to me in the worst time of their lives. They're either getting divorced, or they're scared of losing their children, or they believe that someone, improperly pressured their relative and financially exploited them, or they're really concerned about this loved one who doesn't think they need help, but all the signs point to the need for a guardian or conservator to make sure that their best interests are protected because they're unable to. I loved helping people through those times. Nothing warmed my heart more than receiving the heartfelt thank you. I've had some clients hug me when we've resolved their cases. It's just so rewarding. And not having that as a part of my life right now and for the foreseeable future brings me pause. I'm not one of those people who graduated high school, went straight to college, went to law school, passed the bar, and practiced. I thought I was brilliant. I got married when I was still a teenager and started having children then. I went to college after I had my 3 children and I was a single parent. I got my bachelor's degree. I went through law school full-time, working nights and weekends. Didn't have much of a life outside of my children, work, and studying. I studied all the time. So for me to reach what I would say is really getting to the top of my career and now suddenly having it pulled from me, it's a huge adjustment. And I can't help but wonder am I going to be able to go back? Am I going to be able to practice law again in the same way that I had? I mean, I was in court frequently, 3 to 4 times a week. I'd have cases on. It's just a huge life-changing event. And, I also identified a lot with my successes that I've had in my professional career. And I'm so happy that many of my colleagues have reached out to me, given me, words of support, encouragement. Hey, I can't wait to see you again in court. I was talking to one person, she's like, Maria, I just can't wait to have another trial against you. I mean, a lot of the people who are my friends, we've been opposing counsel very frequently because the jurisdiction that I practice in, and because I specialize in probate and family law matters, it's a really small bar. So we see each other a lot. So I'm struggling with that because I can't help but think what's going to be there for me once I'm well enough to be able to practice again. if I'm going to be well enough to practice again. Because for all I know, this could be a chronic thing. And by saying if, I'm not saying it's because an awful thing happened. It just means that, okay, well, I'm always going to be in some treatment or other because I need to always keep this ovarian cancer at bay. If any of you have gone through something similar, I'd love to hear from you, and as far as how you manage that, and you know, how you dealt with the uncertainty of what would happen next when you work so hard to come to such a high point in your career to all of a sudden have to step back because your body and your mind, because of all the medication that I'm on, just can't perform it anymore. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you as far as that, how you handled that, any suggestions you have for me. And hey, I'll take them. One of the things that I'm thinking of doing is putting together a video of everything that I've done, you know, as far as planning since I learned my diagnosis, because being a probate litigator, I've seen when things go bad, either when an individual becomes incompetent or after the death of someone and there's issues regarding the division of the estate or whatnot. And, you know, there were a lot of things that I did that I didn't necessarily think of when I didn't have this ovarian cancer diagnosis looming over my head. But once I got it, I was pulling it together. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. It means so much. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.